Okay. Ace Car Rental rents cars for X dollars per day plus Y dollars for each mile. So X dollars per day and Y dollars per mile. And we have two people. We have Carlos. Let's put Carlos in red. Carlos rented it for 4 days. So 4 days and X. So it's the number of days times the number of dollars per day. And he drove 160 miles. 160 miles. 160 miles. So if we multiply that by Y, that'll give us that much. And he spent $120. Seems like a pretty good price for a rental. Then our other friend, Vanessa, she rented a vehicle for 1 day. So just 1 day times the X. We could put a 1 there. It's invisible. We don't put it there. Okay, but if you want to picture it there, it's there. Plus, she drove 240 miles in that day. And that's times Y. And she spent $80. Okay, so we're going to use our systems of equations, our substitution to solve this. You could do this with any of them, but let's solve Carlos's. Let's solve the red one. Let's solve the red one for X. We're going to solve the red one for X. And the first thing I'm going to do, well, let's subtract 160y from both sides. And we get 4x is equal to negative 160y plus $120. We're going to divide out the 4 from everything. 4 divided by 4, that's just x. Negative 160 divided by 4 is negative 40y. And 120 divided by 4 is 30. So there's my equation solved for x. And we are going to plug, no, it didn't square it for me. That's how badly drawn it was. We're going to plug this x in over here for this x. But instead of writing the x, because these x's are the same x, instead of writing x, we're going to write what x equals, and that's negative 40y plus 30. So we have negative 40y plus 30, and that's my x, plus 240y is equal to 80. Let's take this 240y and this negative 40y, let's put those together. 240y plus negative 40y or minus 40y, all the same thing, gives us 200y plus 30 equals 80. Subtract our 30 from both sides, and we get 200y equals 50. And finally, we're going to divide both sides by 200, and y equals 50 over 200. Well, I can cancel out that 0, and that's 5 over 20. Both of those are divisible by 5, so 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so y equals 1/4. Okay, so that's what we figured out so far. Y equals 1/4. Let's plug that back in. Again, we're going to use the blue equation. So we have x. We're not replacing the x this time because we're trying to figure out what x is. Or actually, let's do this. We could do this. This red equation, this one right here, let's plug, we'll use this one. So we're going to say x equals negative 40 times y, but we figured out that y is equal to 1/4. So instead of putting a y there, we're going to put 1/4 plus 30. Okay, negative 40 times 1/4. Negative 40 divided by 4 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 1 is negative 10. So x equals negative 10 plus 30. Negative 10 plus 30 equals 20. So we have y equals 1/4 and x equals 20. Well, what does that mean? So if I wrote that as an ordered pair, I have the point 20, 1/4, and that's all fine and dandy, and that is the correct answer. But what does it mean? If someone asks you, okay, so 20 what and 1/4 what and why, and what does that mean? If we go back to where we defined things, x is the dollars per day. So 20 means it costs whoever rents cars from this place, from Ace Car Rental, $20 per day. And then it costs them $0.25 of $1 or 25 cents per mile. Okay, so $20 per day and $0.25 per mile. Also, we should find this place because I don't think there's anywhere that is this cheap. All right, that's it for this one.